Capricorn, welcome to your Celtic cross reading. What's up? What's going on? Show me, Capricorn, please. Like always, take it resonates, leave it does not. And if there's more than one energy that's apparent to you on this board today, then you reverse those energies as you see fit. Do keep in mind it's about the collective, okay? But inevitably, a them or a they shows up, all right? So again, reverse those energies as you see fit. What's going on, please? These are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate. And as frustrating as that is, it's also normal. So check your other placements if that's the case. Show me Capricorn, show me Capricorn, show me Capricorn, show me Capricorn. What's going on? What's going on, please, for Capricorn? Show me Capricorn, show me Capricorn. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Nine of Cups is crossing. What is my next investment? I wonder. Nine of Pentacles, beautiful. Influencing every day. That's a good one to have. Okay, recent past. King of Cups, exiting. Knight of Cups before you. Seven of Swords. Interesting. Okay, we'll see what that's about. We have the Page of Cups. Excuse me, in your strength. See about that too. King of Swords in your environment. I have no doubt. Hopes and fears. Fighting. Judgment. Outcome. Lesson. Lesson. A response. Something's coming through. Ooh, how interesting. Right there towards the end. Landed out with judgment. My. Okay. You don't seem to be in a rush to cultivate anything new. Okay. Lots of folks have been showing me the Knight of Cups already. And I promise you I shuffle these many times in between. Interesting. Nine of Cups is crossing. It's like I don't know if I feel satisfied with that answer one way or the other about any particular investment. So it's a no pressure type situation. But I see you kind of trying not to acknowledge something in the future. Interesting. You have a good influence overall. But the heart space, personally, internally, as well as externally, seem to be under question. Your overall sense of growth doesn't seem to be under question, but your emotionality is. Five of Wands is interesting in that hopes and fears. I am afraid that I have to get involved in an argument, but part of me kind of wants to. We'll see. And like I said, judgment right there towards the end. I may not clarify some of these. Some of them, as we go along, will speak for themselves. Okay? And they may not need additional clarification. And as small as that Page of Pentacles seems, I'm actually going to go ahead and clarify that, because not only is it the opening position, it's also at the heart of the reading. So it might seem so terribly small and not important, but your Nine of Cups is like, I don't know if I support that. I want to know what it is, no matter how small that investment could be. What does it represent to you? What's that Page of Pentacles, please? Show me that Page of Pentacles. 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 The Sun, the Five of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. Oh. Something you're not terribly convinced will make you happy, because you're saying that Page of Pentacles represents an investment that could possibly be an attachment to the past. Okay. Yeah. So you're not convinced. You're not convinced that whatever that investment is could make you happy. And you're saying this is coming from experience. So then why are you contemplating it at all? Why are you contemplating that page then if you already have experience with this and you say, from experience, Christina, sometimes it makes me happy, but for the most part, it's proven to be greatly disappointing. And you're saying you can back that up based on experience. I believe you. So why contemplate unless that Page of Pentacles is not yours? Curious. Because you're like, I don't know if I should bother with this Nine of Cups. No, that's a real reaction. So it makes me wonder about the origin of that Page of Pentacles. Is it yours? Because I believe you when you tell me based on past experiences. There's moments of sunshine, but they can't be sustained. Five of Cups. Okay. You don't have to convince me. But it does make me wonder why think about it at all? Unless, of course, something was put forward to you to contemplate about in that vein. Now, I was going to, initially, I wasn't really interested in your Nine of Cups. Now I am. Let's take a look at that Nine of Cups. Show me that Nine of Cups, please. I trust your sense of independence here. You're saying you got experience on this subject. Cool. Ten of Wands, Temperance, the Hermit. You're saying it would take a lot, so it's a preposition. I see. Okay, so it is a proposal then. So that Page of Pentacles isn't yours. At some point, somebody drops it, and I see a reaction catching up to it present, as in it's borderline live. These things do happen. So, let's see. What can I tell you? You are all over this like a swarm of bees. Oh, the shenanigans those pages can get up to. So it's not your page. Somebody dropped a page to you, and you're like, it's tempting, Christina. There's warmth in it. I see it. I feel it. I sense it. I got experience with it. But it's also given me the experience of sorrow whenever I try to engage with it or interact with it. So how happy can it be, right? Because you've been with this, you've dealt with it before. It's a page, you're familiar with. And Nine of Cups is crossing, challenging this. I don't think this is a good representation of me. I don't know that it's necessarily going to make me happy if I choose to engage with it, because you're showing me you would have to put up a lot of Ten of Wands in order to heal it. And as you got the two big guns of healing right there, Temperance and the Hermit, you're saying this would take a lot of work, man. And it's under contemplation. It's not actual. You're showing me it's contemplative. You said you've thought about it from this page, that if you tried to work with it, you don't know if it would A, be your own sense of wish fulfillment, and B, even if you made any inroads with it, you're saying it would take so much work to heal it, that you're saying right away that you would probably have to carry all the work because, again, you've experienced it with this person or something before. You're saying you have to do twice as much as work as they do. And you're saying it's exhausting. You keep showing me a lot of experience with this page. So you know where it came from. And it would take twice as much work. Or you anticipate, I should say. It's the reason why you're not enthused about it. You're saying, whenever I've interacted with this, I have to talk twice as much and I have to take as much effort. You're saying you do all the work. You have to roll the conversation. You have to roll the actions. Make it happen. You're saying you carry it. Like I can't do the healing of two people. It's almost like saying it's not worth it to me. Because I'll have moments of happiness with it, but it won't sustain. It's hurt me before. Okay. I believe you. I want to see your Nine of Pentacles. You have a very strong sense of self here, particularly in your experience in this situation. So that page happened relatively soon. Because you're already telling me you know the outcome. You doing the work of two people. Healing for two people. Conversation, actions, all that shit. I don't know if this is a good representation of my wish fulfillment, Christina. Isn't that what you say? Don't do the work of two, right? Match energies. You're saying you know what healing means to you, but you already know what to expect from the other side, and the other side is not so much. Okay. Let's see that Nine of Pentacles that influences you. You have such a strong sense of self here. Based, however, on realistic experience with this situation and or possibly person. Oh. Wow. Let's see that Nine of Pentacles. Four of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. I believe you. I believe you. Your believability here is very high. You keep a very tidy record of events. Okay. I believe you. You're saying, I've rested. You're saying, and I've seen this for, I think, Scorpio not too long ago. I know what my balances are worth, and those are the ones I maintain. I do not give any more than what I'm given. And this is how I create healthy balances, maintain healthy balances, and I can also afford myself new opportunities at my leisure. I know when to incorporate them because as a Nine of Pentacles person, not once but twice for you, plus a Nine of Cups, you're saying, I know what my time, energy, and efforts is worth. And I renew those contracts that work. And I make also new opportunities for myself because I know it's worth it. And I don't participate in that stuff that's not worth it. That's the benefit of being a Nine of Pentacles so strongly. So when you tell me you have experience with this, I believe you. When you tell me you are all about your day-to-day contracts, fulfillment of the self, your own sense of security, purpose, drive, experience, and that you know when to rest, that way you can determine what a good Ace of Pentacles is and isn't. This is what I will participate. This is what I won't. I believe you. So look at that. Look at that little Page of Pentacles kicked off all this activity where you're keeping record about this is what I can do. This is what I'm good at. I can't lose sight of this. I don't know if this would make me happy because from my experience, this working with this situation and or person usually just means me doing all the work. And it's like, I can't do that. My experience has taught me balanced systems. They're not going to give as much, or the situation's not going to give as much, and I know it, and I'd be a fool to get caught up in it again, something like that. Okay, I trust your experience because you trust your experience. So when you tell me it would be really hard to heal this, and you don't know if you can find your heart in it because you kind of already understand the outcome. Yeah, I know. I find myself in that situation too, sometimes. Because you can sense the happiness in it, and just because you can, and I have this talk with people all the time, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can do the work and healing of two, which is a contradiction in terms, but just because you can carry the weight of it doesn't mean you should. If you think that whatever that is, that page, is anti-equal energy and effort, then you have your answer. Why is this way? Why all the contemplation though? I understand that's an outsider page. And it kicked off this hive of activity. I need to see your King of Cups in the past. I'm going to see that King of Cups, please, in the past. If it's what I suspect it is, then that would explain why your Knight of Cups is on the exit. Okay, especially as you contemplate, does this make me happy? Because I don't think it's a very good example of wish fulfillment. Why? It's based on experience. Experience with this situation and or person taught me that they take 2 or 3 times as much work to work with. They don't do their portion. They don't contribute as much energetically or realistically. Something like that. Make sense? Let's see that King of Cups in the past. It seems to me you have an answer. My thing is why does that page put forward? I didn't see that part. I'm very curious. Judgment. 3 of Swords. 2 of Cups. I see. So you had a lesson yourself about what you exposed your heart to. As much as you love this situation, you said it's caused you pain, and you had to learn that the hard way. So you had a tendency in this particular connection that you loved it. And because of that reason, you put too much of yourself into it, even though it wasn't given back in measurable difference. So like when you said, I have experience with this situation or person, it always comes down to me. I have to do all the talking and the working and the healing and the loving of 2 people. It's too hard. That is anti-love of the self. Yes, it is. I agree. So you had a lesson in this. A very large one, King of Cups. You're just like, I love this to the point of my own fault. We had a spiritual lesson here about rejection, 2 of Cups. If it cannot be equal with you, same page, emotional energy, the same amount of shared reciprocal love, par for course. If it's not giving back to you in equal measure, then you're correct. It is not worth your time, energy, and effort. You can't dress it up as, I really, really love this, and therefore, this is what I'm going to do as much as them. No, that's how you create pain. And you end up rejecting yourself. And then they'll end up rejecting you too, if you allow it. Yes. You run around loving people more than they love you, doing more for them than they do for you, offering more of the realistic energy of meeting somebody, always being the one to prompt this, that, and the other. then yes, you set yourself up for rejection because you're saying you're worth more than me. But I'm going to allow it because I'm in love with you or I love you. So I'm just letting you know every time we connect that you're worth more than me, that your time, energy, and effort's more valuable than mine, even though I do the work for the both of us. That's what you did, right? So that's why you're saying your experience for this is really high. I believe you. Otherwise, you're saying that's not what I'm about. But when it came to this particular situation, I had a big fat lesson. Otherwise, you're saying, I know what a balanced structure system is. I never give more than what I'm given. And because of that, it leaves me space to do other things. So, your Knight of Cups then is on the exit. I don't need to clarify that. Whatever this is, it kind of sapped the strength of your heart for a long time. This is where we have to have a talk about participation. You put someone else above your own needs, emotion or otherwise, time, energy, and effort otherwise. They will always make sure that they're in a position to continue to let you. Okay? But I think you learned that. Someone who has shared equal reciprocated love never allows you, out of respect for that person's dignity and heart, to let them do it. In other words, they would stop taking in excess and stop allowing you to work in excess if they know they can't meet you where you are. There's a responsibility here on both sides. Okay? So that Knight of Cups, like I said, it speaks for itself. Your heart expressing towards this, the love specifically that you were trying to offer, exited some time ago and it's been trying to exit. So then I think your Seven of Swords is about to make sense as well. Perhaps you are going to be avoiding the proposition of that page. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. Seven of Swords is a little tricky. Can't take it for granted. Let's take a look. Show me that Seven of Swords. Show me that Seven of Swords. Show me that Seven of Swords. Yeah, I know. It's really, really easy to just give somebody a page when the other person's radiating sunshine and love, and somebody's like, Paige, you want to do that some more? I've had a lot of time to think about this. No. I can't excuse how much I put into you and allowed how little you gave back to me. That seems to be anti-self-love. Nine of Cups. This is not my wish fulfillment, right? Okay. Eight of Pentacles, Tower, Five of Wands. Oh. Ooh. Okay, I see you. Okay. Your response got a response. Wow, this is happening so fast. I'm going to do this for you. I typically don't do this because people get really weird about time frames. As I point out, or I need to point out more often, you have no idea when I'm recording them. So for you, I'm actually going to break that rule. Yours comes out on a Wednesday. I'm recording this the Monday before, so roughly 10 days prior to. It's the only way to get these done for everybody, is to do them about a week earlier. FYI, we all do it. Very rarely do you see, unless they're really sloppy, do they record and upload the same day. They exist. But no, quality takes time. And I want to make sure everybody gets their reasonable amount of time. So for you, I'm telling you this, it's the 4th. Somewhere between the 4th, when I'm saying now, from my time, and your timeline, okay, which again comes out Wednesday, about 10 days out or so. I'm not doing math today, guys. We're not. That page will have dropped. This is for a very minute group of Capricorns. Capricorn may not be your sun. Your reaction is getting a reaction. The turnaround is fast. Okay. That little old page, innocuous page. Your initial response was Seven of Swords. Okay. Based on my patterns and my lesson that I had to learn the hard way about overgiving and saying that their time, energy, and effort is so much better than mine, and I accommodate them and I do, etc. Those days are over. Your response is no response. You say something to the effect of, I'm busy, I'm working, whatever. I'm just not going to participate. A Taurus born. And the reaction is surprisingly pushback, 5 of Wands. I'm not saying it as anger. I'm saying it as, really? The response is frustration. They know that you are not really addressing it and that you have reason to. They'd be stupid to not realize that you have reason to not really acknowledge this, to use work as an excuse. I don't blame you either. I've seen your history. It's based on your experiences here. It's real. It's valid. I believe every word you say. Your resume on this subject was incredibly straightforward. They know. They're going to challenge it. 5 of Wands. I know you're avoiding me, or you're using work as an excuse. It is pushback. They're going to call you on it. How interesting. I don't think you've seen this level of participation from this person before where they actually tried to fight for something. Fight for your attention, acknowledge me. I'm not going to just let you walk away. I want to talk to you. I don't think you're used to seeing that from this person, and I don't blame you. Up until this point, your efforts and how you've kind of learned about this and what it amounted to was extremely apparent. So again, I don't fault you for that. So I'm kind of surprised to see the pushback because you weren't expecting it either. I don't think this person's ever fought for this before. Your attention or getting their foot in the door, because you probably made it very easy for them. I love you. Let me work around your time. Let me do the work for you. Let me heal for you. Right? Whew. So that's why the 5 Wands is in your hopes and fears. I don't think you were expecting it, and you don't know quite what to make of it. Okay. Oh, this is absolutely fascinating. In your strengths, the Page of Cups. Could you technically open your heart towards this? Very small. Yeah, I actually was going to skip that. Now I'm not. Let's see. Could you offer the forgiveness? Could you offer the gesture? Could you open your heart towards this? Yeah. Do you want to? I don't know. I don't think you were expecting the reaction to fight back and challenge you. I know. Look, I know I burned you out, Capricorn. I know that you're not used to this from me. I know you're not used to me fighting back or speaking up, whatever that is. But I'm here now, and you can't use work as an excuse. Or I'm not going to allow you to, or something like that. See what I'm saying? I'm fighting for your space. I'm fighting for your attention. I don't think they've done this before. Oh my. Let's see that Page of Cups. I gotta say, somebody who's convinced, because you've traveled that street, I believe you. 100%. You say you traveled that street with them so many times, you know every single paving stone on that street. You also said it's a dead end. You're like, I'm not doing it. Whatever this is. And we thank you very much, but no, I'm busy at work. Whatever it is. The response is a kickback. 7 of Wands, Ace of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. That you're saying you could. I know. Because you are all about your reasonable structures and good balances. You're saying you know you could open your heart towards this cautiously. 7 of Wands. Ace of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. If you were so inclined to work things out with this person, you knew that you could. That you typically pride yourself on that, by the way. The ability to get along with other people, to build things here and there. 3 of Pentacles, friendships, acquaintanceships, or just agreeing to meet in the same space. You're actually saying you're quite good at the neutrality effect. I believe you. I pride myself on that skill as well. Keeping yourself neutral in a situation that makes you feel like you got to lean one way or the other is a tricky thing. But yeah, no, you're saying I could be cautious, and I could cooperate, could. But that means opening my heart a little open towards this. You say you could do so with caution, that you have experience with this too. You know, when you're building contracts with people and you're showing optimism, but not too much. Either way, I told you, you're very balanced. And you really try to abide by the give and take principle. But this defied the norms, didn't it? Okay. You're saying you could do. King of Swords in your environment. Let's see it. They're actually very intelligent, get it done type of person, determined. Let's see that King of Swords. Let's see that King of Swords. So, judgment's attached to your lesson once. And you also have a judgment in your outcome. Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this. King of Swords. Show me that 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 King of Swords, please. Oh, goodness gracious. I have to do better about not being slouchy. All right. 9 of Pentacles. There you are again. The Moon. The 5 of Pentacles. Oh. Yeah. You admit there's things you don't know. You admit to that. You admit to your own knowledge gap. That's interesting. In your environment. King of Swords. That's a good admission. Especially for somebody who prides themselves so much on being able to carry themselves and carry their own weight, and who ultimately knows better about balancing and things like that. It's saying there's a part of you have to admit is curious. You have a level head. Don't let that take away from you. You have a level head. You're smart, determined. You know who you are. You know what you're about. 9 of Pentacles. But you have to admit, and I don't blame you for this, because I am too, actually, you're curious. The Moon and the 5 of Pentacles, you're curious about the break. How they experienced it, what they have to say. Part of you is curious. It's okay. If that's true, then use your strengths for you. It's right here. The whole point of the strengths category is so people can understand it. That it's at their disposal. You can cautiously open an Ace of Wands towards this in the sense of practical footing. 3 of Pentacles. A little bit of heart space. Some caution. If you wanted to know, in other words, you could make it happen. Okay? You don't have to go back to that King Cup space. And your Knight of Cups for this is clearly on the exit. You don't feel about them the way you used to. It's changed, obviously. You no longer put them all the way up there as being the priority. Okay. So if you want to satisfy your curiosity, it seems to be within grasp. What they will actually say, I couldn't tell you. Let's jump on over here to the 5 of Wands. But the reason you didn't fully exit this is because your response, busy working. They didn't fall for it. They're like, oh, I'm sure you are. Nevertheless, I'm insisting. I think they're insisting here with that 5 of Wands is more than they've ever shown you in terms of participation. Wow. And it's I'm not saying it's being angry, aggressive, or arguing. I'm seeing it as I'm pushing back on this. Okay. Oh, I kind of want to know at this point what they have to say. I see why you didn't take the page seriously. You have plenty of experience with this person that suggests you shouldn't. They don't stand up for themselves. They don't speak for themselves. And they didn't seem to really act on your behalf. You did most of that for you, both. And you said to some extent, I can't do this. I can't be the one that carries the conversation. I can't be the one that carries the actions. So if somebody's got something to say about the break and the Moon, okay. I don't know. Kind of curious. Page of Wands, 3 of Wands, the 10 of Cups. Okay. You're curious. This is something that you can open up towards. Will it lead to emotional balance? You're saying it would require waiting and to find out. So them standing up and fighting for this, to be heard, to prove themselves, I don't know. You're saying you got to figure out if that's something that you can hope for reasonably, or is it just going to put you back in a position of waiting for more emotional clarity? Because it seems like we have some sort of revelation here about the material side and the physical world, but you're like, the emotional balance though, Christina, I don't know if it's worth it. I'm not sure if they're giving you much there to work with. If you feel like you have to be in a position to hope for it. I don't know. So while you're gaining clarity, the idea of long-term emotional harmony with this person, if that's achievable, you're like, I just don't know. You don't seem to be convinced. I don't blame you, and also that's not your fault. Your faults, whatever they were, is a lesson, and that participating in this when you know they weren't prepared to do the same or feel the same. Okay? That was your lesson. You've learned it. Okay? So that one, consider that on your checklist. Okay? Let's see, Judgment. So the idea is that if you have to wait or linger to see proof of emotional expanse or emotional harmony, right? You're like, you don't know if you dare hope for that or if you should fear it, because again, you have such a heavy pattern with this person. That suggests you were too much in the dark while trying to put them in the light. So, yeah, once bitten, twice shy, honey. I don't know what they want, other than I believe to at least have their side meted out in terms of understanding. Let's see, Judgment. Judgment for Judgment. Good night. The Lovers, the Empress. I see. It's a shared form of lesson for the both of you with the Lovers. My. This is quite the episode, isn't it? And here you are trying to show me how you can practically approach this. You are curious. You admit that. You're not stupid. Especially if this person's standing up for themselves in ways they never did before, and particularly in respect of, this is my time, energy, and effort now. Excuse me. And I'm exposing it to you. In fact, I'm insisting that you listen. There's that Five of Wands kickback. I don't blame you for being curious. I would very much, if they're being that adamant, I would want to know what the thoughts were. I don't blame you for your curiosity. Something about this approach is different than what you're used to. It was enough to make you stop your retreat. Called you on it, even a little bit, yeah. Which suggests that they recognize the pattern between you two. You can only change patterns unless you recognize them. I know it was always you that put forward the work or the communication. Well, I've got something to say about that, all of that. It catches you up. But there's one thing you're not seeing immediate results on. Is there a longer vision of emotional harmony between you and I? Being in each other's good books, if you will. In each other's emotional circles as a regular thing. You don't know if that's going to be a regular feature and you're not convinced of it. You don't know if it's worth sticking around to find out. So while they are filling in blanks for you, that's lovely. You do find that as a cooperative element that you seem to be able to build on and participate in. It's like, but what's the real gig though? Like, why are you really here? That you're just like, you still can't see it right away, which means they didn't fill in all the blanks. Guys, Judgment to the Judgment, the Lovers duel, and Judgment twice. So the both of you had lessons here. The both of you had lessons about empowerment, making choices, the best representation of you. Theirs was likely to step into this and give more. Yours was too likely to step out of this and give less. That's the best way I can do it. Rough translation about equations and tarot and math. Positive and negatives and numbers, as well as the actual traditional meanings. Adding this all up, it's a very rough translation, I know. You have to understand how powerful Judgment is. You showed me your respective lesson on your own, which you say you nailed that lesson. You won't forget it, nor should you. But they had a lesson attached to them too. And that lesson is empowerment. Choose the connections that empower you, that make you realize the fullness of who you are, what loves you and nurtures you. Some would argue that there's no such thing as unconditional love except with children. There's some premise for that. I understand. It does make sense. But the Empress ultimately represents unconditional love, so long as she herself understands she's loved. So the idea is you choose the best representation of you that is empowerment, not push away from it, belittle it, or reduce your time, energy, and effort. You step into it. You don't allow someone to assume that for you and build you up, because I think you put a lot into this and it put them into this position of false empowerment, therefore taking away from yours, but the real power was coming from you by you lowering yourself and raising them. You understand? Okay? This kind of connection has levers. We want to get these two people right about here. Someone doesn't need to lower themselves in order to raise someone, and someone should not allow themselves to be raised by someone lowering themselves. You understand me? That's what this looks like through my eyes. So here, in everybody learning their parts, we have the equalization effect. Okay? They seem to be engaging now more with you as an equal, as opposed to, I expect you to bankroll us both in terms of development in this connection. In other words, you do all the work and you admire me and you love me and you flatter me, and I kind of just neglect you. So they seem to be stepping into a role of understanding they're supposed to give back, and you understanding you're not supposed to put all of yourself into it. I am seeing what looks like natural concerns at play at the 3D level, but in terms of the spiritual concerns, there are lessons here on both sides that both need to understand, figure out, and hopefully communicate before there's more progress. And there's the promise of more progress, but it completely depends on your willingness. Let me tell you this. This is how I advise people about connecting and working things out. Is there offer of change? That's it. There is one element attached to this situation that's completely different than you've experienced before, which again, you made it very clear, your experience with the situation. You're saying, I already know what to expect from them, and that's why I'm not taking their offer seriously. And that's why you stopped, is because something about this changed. Something about this changed. That's how you know change has taken effect, is that you see evidence of it. So if this person never stood up for you or the connection before, or put themselves into it, and now they're insisting on shoving that foot through the door, it's changed. So you can go ahead and practically say, yes, I'm curious. Okay, I'm curious. And yes, I can reasonably connect with this person and start building things and working things out. I don't know about the emotional component piece, but something about this person's effort changed, which suggests insight, which suggests spiritual impactfulness, the way you experienced it already. And that's how you can kind of figure out for yourself, is this worth bothering? Because if it was under any other situation or circumstance where somebody was just dropping a text and they expect you to pick up the ball from there and just keep on like you always did, then you already know what to expect, and your excuse would have worked easy, no problem. I'm kind of busy right now, besides I already know what to expect from the situation. I do everything right. Fuck that. Something changed. Okay. This future connectivity, I can only suppose that you two are swapping lessons. Okay. They're going to see that this is who you really are, and then you can better see what they can actually do. They need to see you at your baseline, where you're not doing that much, and then you need to be able to see more effort from them. That suggests that's who they are too, but they have to choose it. L-U-P, the star, sign of Aquarius, but also those big hope, wishes, wants, and dreams. Capricorn, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.